Story 04. I am on fire today. Why this sentence scared my coworkers. It was the best week of my working life. My name is Jin. I am from South Korea. I had been working at a marketing company in Chicago for 3 months. In my first 2 months, everything was slow. I made small mistakes. I was quiet. I was careful. I was learning. But in my 3rd month, everything clicked. I finished a project 2 days early. My manager praised me in front of the whole team. A client sent a personal email saying my work was excellent. On Friday morning, I walked into the open office feeling like a completely different person. I put my bag on my desk. I looked around at my colleagues. And I decided, today, I will use an English expression I had been saving. I had heard athletes use it. I had heard it in films. I had practiced it in my apartment. I stood up straight. I smiled my biggest smile. And I said to the whole office, "Good morning, everyone. I am on fire today." One colleague pushed her chair back from her desk. Another stood up and looked toward the door. A third one looked at my jacket, then at my arms, then at the ceiling. The room went very quiet. I stood there, smiling, alone, confused. I was trying to say I was having a great day, but the room was not sure if I understood I was using a figure of speech. Repeat this sentence with me. I think I delivered that the wrong way. Good, let's begin. Part 1. Context. Jin had been learning English since he was 12 years old. He was good at grammar. He was good at writing. His vocabulary was strong. But natural, casual, spoken English, the kind that flows between colleagues in an open office, that was harder. In Korean, expressions and idioms exist too. But they do not translate. You cannot carry them across into another language and expect them to land the same way. Repeat. Idioms do not translate directly. Good. This is one of the most important rules for any language learner. What is natural in your language may sound strange, wrong, or even dangerous in English. Jin had been studying English expressions for weeks. He kept a small notebook. Every time he heard an idiom, in a film, in a meeting, from a colleague, he wrote it down. On fire was in his notebook with 3 stars next to it. He had heard a sports commentator use it. He had heard it in a podcast. He understood the meaning perfectly. On fire. Performing at your absolute best. Everything is working. Everything is going well. You are unstoppable. Repeat. On fire means performing at your absolute best. Good. Jin waited for the right moment. And on that Friday morning, after the best week of his career, he decided the moment had come. Part 2. The mistake. Let's understand exactly what went wrong. Jin used the correct expression. I am on fire is real English. Athletes use it. Presenters use it. Colleagues use it with each other every day. So why did the office react with alarm? The answer is not the phrase. The answer is the delivery. When Jin said, I am on fire today, he said it with enormous intensity. He stood up. He made eye contact with the whole room. His voice was serious and loud. His posture was dramatic. He looked like a man making an important announcement, not like a man celebrating a good week. Here is the key thing about idioms. When you use an expression, the people around you need to feel immediately, in the first half a second, that you know it is an expression. How do they know? Through your tone, through your smile, through the lightness in your voice, If you say, I am on fire, with a relaxed laugh and a wave of your hand, everyone understands immediately. It is a celebration. It is a joke. It is fun. But if you say, I am on fire today, with the serious energy of someone delivering a company announcement, people's brains, for just one moment, take the words literally. Literally means the actual meaning of the words, not the expression, not the idiom, the real words. I am on fire. And for 1 second, 3 colleagues in that office wondered if something was physically wrong. Repeat. Tone tells people you are using an expression. Good. The phrase was right. The tone was wrong. One without the other is not enough. Part 3. The correct delivery. So how should Jin have said it? Let's look at 3 natural, safe ways to express the same feeling. Option 1. I am on a roll today, said with a laugh. On a roll means things are going well one after another, like a ball rolling forward and not stopping. It has the same meaning as on fire, but with a softer, warmer energy. Repeat. I am on a roll today. Good. Say it with a smile, light, easy, happy. Option 2. I'm having the best week. Simple, clear, no idiom, no possibility of confusion, just honest and direct. Repeat. I'm having the best week. Good. Option 3. I am on fire today, but said correctly. The phrase itself is fine. What Jin needed to change was the delivery. A relaxed smile, a small laugh, a casual wave, the tone that says, I know this sounds dramatic. And that's the joke. Idioms work when you carry them lightly, not when you announce them. Repeat. Carry idioms lightly. Good. This is one of the best pieces of advice for English learners. When you use an expression, let it be easy. Do not put too much weight on it. Smile, breathe, let it land naturally. Part 4. Why this happens. Literal versus idiomatic. Today's story teaches us something important about how English expressions work. Every expression has 2 layers. The first layer is the literal meaning, what the words actually say. The second layer is the idiomatic meaning, what people actually understand. Usually, when you use an idiom correctly, everyone goes straight to the second layer. They hear on fire and immediately understand performing well. Nobody thinks about actual flames, but there is a moment, just a fraction of a second, where the brain processes both layers at once. In that moment, your tone, your smile, and your energy are what guide the listener to the right layer. If your delivery is light and playful, they go to the idiomatic meaning. Everyone laughs. If your delivery is serious and intense, for just one moment, the literal meaning flickers. This is why delivery is just as important as vocabulary. Let's look at some other expressions where this matters. I could eat a horse. Idiomatic meaning. I am very hungry. If said with a groan and a hand on your stomach, funny and relatable. If said with wide eyes and deadly seriousness, slightly alarming. Repeat. I could eat a horse. Say it with a groan and a smile. I'm dying laughing. Idiomatic meaning. This is extremely funny. Said while laughing, perfect. Said with a straight face, confusing. Repeat. I'm dying laughing. Say it while smiling. This is killing me. Idiomatic meaning. This is very difficult or very funny. said with a frustrated laugh. Natural, said with intensity. Wrong signal. Repeat. This is killing me, with a small laugh. The lesson. Learn the phrase and learn the face that goes with it. Repeat. Learn the phrase and the face that goes with it. Part 5. Workplace English Vocabulary. Now let's learn real English expressions for talking about a good day, a good week, or success at work. These are phrases your colleagues actually use. I'm on a roll. Things are going well one after another. You are in a good rhythm. Repeat. I'm really on a roll this week. Things are going really well. Simple, neutral, always safe, no idiom, no confusion. Repeat. Things are going really well lately. I'm in the zone. You are fully focused and performing at your best. Common in sports and work. Repeat. I'm totally in the zone today. I nailed it. You did something very well. You succeeded completely. Repeat. I nailed that presentation. It all came together. After a difficult process, everything worked out perfectly at the end. Repeat. The project finally came together. I'm really pleased with how it went. A calm, professional way to express satisfaction. Good for formal settings. Repeat. I'm really pleased with how it went. That went better than expected. Modest and natural. English speakers often understate success. Repeat. That went better than expected. I couldn't have done it without the team. A generous professional phrase for sharing credit. Very well received in English-speaking workplaces. Repeat. I couldn't have done it without the team. Part 6. Story resolution. After a moment of silence, Jin's manager stood up and started laughing. A warm, genuine laugh. He looked at the room and said, "He means he's having a great day, everyone. Relax." The tension broke. People laughed. A colleague said, "Oh, thank goodness." Jin's face was very red, but he was laughing too. His manager walked over and said quietly, "Good phrase. Just maybe smile a little more when you use it next time." Jin nodded. He sat down at his desk. He opened his notebook. He did not cross out "on fire." He kept it. But next to it, he wrote 3 new words. Smile, light, easy. Because an idiom without those 3 things is just a sentence that confuses people. Repeat. Smile, light, easy. Vocabulary review. On fire. Performing at your absolute best. Unstoppable. Everything is working. Deliver it with lightness and a smile, not as a serious announcement. Repeat. I am on fire today. Smile while you say it. On a roll. Things are going well one after another. A gentler version of on fire. Repeat. I'm on a roll this week. In the zone. Fully focused and performing at your best. Repeat. I'm totally in the zone today. I nailed it. I did something very well. Complete success. Repeat. I nailed that presentation. It all came together. After difficulty, everything worked out perfectly. Repeat. The project finally came together. Literal meaning. What the actual words say, not the expression. Repeat. Fire literally means flames. Idiomatic meaning. what people actually understand, the expression meaning. Repeat. On fire idiomatically means performing very well. Delivery. How you say something. Tone, smile, body language, just as important as the words. Repeat. Delivery is just as important as vocabulary. Carry idioms lightly. Use expressions with ease and lightness, not dramatic intensity. Repeat. Carry idioms lightly. I'm really pleased with how it went. A calm, professional way to express success. Repeat. I'm really pleased with how it went. Closing. Jin learned something that day that his notebook could not have taught him. English is not just what you say, it is how you say it. The energy behind the words. The face you wear when you deliver them. An idiom is a small gift. When you offer it with the right energy, light, easy, warm, people receive it with a smile. When you offer it with the wrong energy, tense, intense, dramatic, even the right phrase can land badly. Real English is not just vocabulary, it is voice, it is tone, it is the smile behind the sentence. Repeat one final time. Real English is the smile behind the sentence. Excellent. Subscribe for next Wednesday, because a new waiter is about to offer a customer something at a restaurant that has nothing to do with the menu. See you then.